Singapore Sling's win the Hong Kong Classic Cup put him up as a live contender for the Hong Kong Derby. Chad, you're on board for that win. You're going to be on board for the Derby on Sunday. What have the last few weeks been like for you?
Yeah, they've been terrific. It's just fantastic to go into a race like the Hong Kong Derby on a live chance, and he's certainly one of those. And his win in the Classic Cup was dominant and very good, and he's trained on nicely since then. And yeah, looking forward to the race. He's
a former South African horse. When he first came to Hong Kong, you rode him in his first couple of barrier trials. Did you think then that he could be a Derby type?
Obviously, we were always hopeful, but to be honest, he didn't show a great deal from day dot. He took a bit of time to acclimatise here and settle down and into his routine. But when he started to race, he obviously showed he has a lot of ability, and he just improved since then.
Nothing I like more had beaten you in the Classic Mile. Going into the Classic Cup, though, the step up to 1,800 metres, did you think that you could turn the tables on him?
Look, he beat us fair and square in the Classic Mile, and in the Classic Cup, I knew my horse would appreciate the further distance, and however, we were still always mindful of nothing I like more's ability, because he's a phenomenal horse. So we were confident without getting carried away, but we were able to have a lovely run in the race that day, and he was very good.
The lead up to the Classic Cup mustn't have been easy for you. Tony Millard, Richard Gibson are two of your main supporters here. You had a horse each for them, Singapore Sling and also Ratton, who you'd won on before. Was that a difficult decision for you to make?
It was. Obviously, Richard Gibson and Rattan's owners have been fantastic to me. I think I've won 3 or 4 races on the horse, and they're very nice people, the owners. So it wasn't an easy decision, but obviously I ended up making the right one, and Richard Gibson was the first to congratulate me. So it's all worked out well.
And with these 4-year-old races, for a race like the Derby in particular, 2,000 metres, it's an unknown for a lot of these horses. Have you got any stamina doubts regarding Singapore Sling?
Well, obviously you never know, but I felt like he was pretty strong on the line in the 1,800 metre the other day. But like you said, the 2,000 metre Derby's a completely different kettle of fish. They've got to go around 2 turns now, and the barrier draw is crucial. So his runs in the Classic Mile and the Classic Cup, he's been aided with a perfect barrier, and he's had the softest run of all time. So it's a different ball game, but I feel like he's a horse who can step up.
We spoke about Tony Millard before. He gave you your first win when you came to Hong Kong a couple of years ago. You've had a great association in that time. What's your relationship like with him, and what's he like to ride for?
Yeah, he's a very good trainer. I'm very thankful. I kicked it off with him from day dot. He's been fantastic to me. He's thrown me the majority of his support, and he's really helped me get going here in Hong Kong. And it's just great. We've now got this horse, Singapore Sling, and let's hope we can just keep building.
Take us back to the start of your time here in Hong Kong. You had great success in Sydney, then Melbourne. But coming here to ride against the likes of Zach Purton, Joe Moreira, Douglas White, was it intimidating to start off with?
Yeah, of course it was. Obviously, I'd ridden with them on the odd meeting when they flown into Australia, and even when I was riding in Australia, I loved Hong Kong racing, and I'd watch all the races. So when it was eventually my turn to come here and give it a go, of course I was very excited. But I just felt like I was ready for the challenge, and if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. But luckily, it all went pretty smoothly for me, and I felt since I've come to Hong Kong, I've really improved as a rider, and I know I'm still really young and nowhere near as experienced as they are. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting better all the time, and as long as I keep raising the bar, I'm happy.
From then till now, how much work has gone into being in a position like you are now, where you're riding a live chance in one of these big races as opposed to one of the outsiders making up the numbers?
Oh, look, I mean, in this instance, a lot of luck has come into it, which we all need in this game. But every jockey in Hong Kong works incredibly hard for support and to keep their momentum rolling. So, of course, we all work hard. And yeah, like I said, I'm just lucky I found this horse.
You spent a part of your childhood growing up here in Hong Kong. Your father, Glenn, rode here. Did you ever think you'd be back here riding Hong Kong Derby favourites?
Oh, it's a dream, really. Obviously, I was always hopeful. Yeah, it's pretty special. So let's hope we can get the job done, and then it'll be even better.
And your father, Glenn, had success in big races here, like the QE2, the Sprint, but he never won a Derby. Could there be some potential bragging rights there around the dinner table if you're able to pull it off with Singapore Sling?
I'm sure there'll be no one cheering louder than my dad.
Best of luck for Sunday. Thanks for your time, Chad.
Thanks, Ed.